All right. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining in today's meetup. Um, we have a Maulik Darji today. He's going to talk about Sitecore and SearchStax integration. Maulik is a veteran in the Sitecore community. He has more than 12 years experience working in Sitecore. He is an architect in working in Altudo. I know personally him because he is my partner in Columbus SUG, and I know he's so much knowledge in Sitecore and um, so much to offer. Maulik is a Sitecore MVP, and today we will get to hear SearchStax, if I can pronounce it, integration with Sitecore. Okay, floor is yours, Maulik.
Thank you so much, Himadri. Welcome everyone to our SUG Columbus February edition. We generally have every month one session to help out the community. Today, I'm going to share about my experience with SearchStax. I heard a lot about SearchStax, that it is pretty easy and I wanted to try. So, and my company Altudo helped me out to try that one. But first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm working as a technical architect Sitecore with Altudo. I am happy to say that I am now MVP technology for 2022. This is my first MVP. I've been working in Sitecore since many years, almost 11 years, more than 11 years now, and have worked on many different implementations. Earlier it was just CMS, then DMS, or now XDB, it was earlier DMS, a digital management system, and many different things, JSS, XDB, some SXA, commerce, many things. I am always available on Twitter with my account Darji Maulik, similar LinkedIn as well, Darji Maulik, and I'm writing blogs on Darji Maulik at WordPress. I am co-organizer with SUG Columbus. You can find Twitter as well with SUG Columbus, and we have a YouTube channel as well with SUG Columbus. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe that one. The video what we are doing, all the sessions, we upload that in this channel for your reference in future. So first of all, what is SearchStax? And I'm going to cover SearchStudio today. It is a powerful and it provides a powerful and relevant search. It is very easy to set up and very fast to get the output. SearchStax also provide managed solar infrastructure. So they have two products mainly. One is a managed solar infrastructure. You want to go solar on the cloud and you don't want any cloud or like you don't want to spend any infrastructure, just connect with this managed solar infrastructure managed by SearchStax, and it's a very easy process. Then comes SearchStudio, even more easier product, very simple to set up and very easy to integrate with Sitecore. You can quickly do it. Today, the session will be much more developer-centric, how we can set up this one and what are the steps we can take to set up SearchStudio with Sitecore. And if you see, very simple step. You can go to SearchStudio website, register it, create the index over there. From the system itself, you will find there is a SearchStax module. You can download that and install it in your Sitecore instance. Corresponding to your Sitecore version, you will find that. Configure that once you install the Sitecore. SearchStax module in Sitecore. The last screen shows you configure your SearchStax in Sitecore, or you will also get some more options as well to do the same. Then you need to populate the schema in Sitecore and SearchStax both. Then you need to index in Sitecore, create a result model based on what your index is. Say sometimes I need full path, or I need content, or some different ways. So create a search model, result model in SearchStax, and create a page in Sitecore. So that's it. There isn't any hidden process, or there isn't any long process. Technically, I would say that in real world, by this time, this session is over. So it would take around less than an hour, but you can definitely complete all the steps within 1 hour's time. And let me show you a streamline document where what you can do. So you can go to, this is a SearchStax, register, create the index. Come to Sitecore, install SearchStax module, configure SearchStax. Now, populate schema is, we have to do it on both the sides, but first it is recommended to do it on Sitecore and then do it on SearchStax, because that way only it will be populated. You index the content. Sometimes you may have to you will see a delay. For example, I have a template called authors. And when I index the content and when I'm trying to create the result model, it will still not be visible on result model. Sometimes there is a delay. I'm just trying to figure out what exactly process should be there to make it fast. And I'm trying to reach out to SearchStax as well for the same. But it is much more easier to follow this process, and then you just need to create a search page. So this is a very simple process. I am definitely going to, the same process I'm repeating again with all the screens. So this is my screen, email, password, and most importantly, this is going to give you a 14 days free trial. So if you want to try it out, you just need your Sitecore instance at your local, and SearchStudio will provide you 14 days free trial. You can play around. It is very fun to play. When I have this one on the same page, when I registered, there is a documentation link. If you see, it's little smaller part, but you can see this section which has all the list. And I have also set up the similar stuff for my blog as well. You will find Darji Maulik at WordPress. There is a Sitecore SearchStax. I have a table over here which shows current version for SearchStax module is 1.4.1, and with their functionality 9.1 and 9.2 you require single setup. 9.3, 10.2 you require a single setup. There isn't any Sitecore specific versions as of now, so that is an advantage. Even if we upgrade from 9.3 to 10.2, we don't need to upgrade SearchStax. Then there is a configuration. You will be able to see this search configuration when I'm doing, and this configuration matches with, on right hand side, this is Sitecore's configuration. Inside Sitecore, you will see this configuration, index core name. So this is my index core name. I have root item, so that is my Sitecore items path. Read-only Solr username, password. So you can see this read-only API credential. There is a admin API credential, and then auto suggest endpoint analytics. So you can see this number 6 analytics API. So that goes over here. Simple copy paste and done. Once this is done, you can see there is a reload schema button, but that we will come back a little later, because first we have to update once this configuration is done, your Sitecore restarts. This is a disclaimer, and I reached out to SearchStax team as well. They also said, yeah, this is important. So when you make any changes on this particular screen, it updates a config file, and everyone working in Sitecore knows if you change any config, it will restart the Sitecore. So yes, this will definitely restart the Sitecore. So good to note down that one. And once the Sitecore restarts, you have everything. You can go to your control panel and schema update. Click on the populate schema. You can see the populate schema. Once this is complete, you can connect to SearchStudio. In the same screen where I was showing, this is all my configuration, and then there is a reload schema. So this will populate all my templates and all the information in the SearchStudio's schema. Then we just need to go to indexing manager and index. It's a little different. Our Sitecore web index would index the whole database, but SearchStudio will index only the path we have provided. You can see this particular root items. Now there is a button over here plus. This indicates that you can provide multiple paths, not just one. So either you can have, let's say my one website, two website. I want separate websites as well. I can create multiple index, but I want everything, all different websites in a single index. I can do that. I can provide multiple root node items in this. That is also very much possible, and it indexes very well. And once this indexing is complete, you have installed the SearchStudio. You will have this module available inside feature, SearchStax search page. There is a SearchStax site search page. You create the page, publish it. Your 99% work is done. And I'm just 10 minutes into that, and we have completed all the discussion. So only last part is this one, search result page configuration. I have everything listed down over here, my result model, and all my fields that is listed over here. Just select, save draft, publish. Once you publish, your result model is available. I will show a demo as well on this one in a few seconds, and then once you index, your result is ready. So these are pretty simple steps, and let's jump to the demo. So this is my Search Studio app. I will start with this one. So this is my settings and search API, my API details, password. You cannot copy or you cannot see the password. This is something little different over here. Discovery APIs, analytics API. There is a search feedback as well. And recently they have launched, I started working on SearchStax in last year, around November, December. And after that, this was launched. This gives you a hosted URL for our own search site. So I click on that, it will take me to the hosted page. So this is my hosted page. And this is an analytics dashboard. It provides good amount of information. I have just set up something. This is complete new setup for the this SUG session. That's why I don't have much search available. There are some searches I have, what I have searched for. Whom, lorem, render, taste, value. So these are few items. And if I'm not getting any results, that is also showing no result searches. Then we can jump to result configuration. So there are different relevance modeling. So you can see this is my result model. I have result title, description. I have result title, short description, result URL, content, full item path, and path content. These two are custom fields. This is out of the box field provided by these two are, 1, 2, and 3. These three are out of the box provided by SearchStax. And this one is my custom, my field from the template. So this result set contains all type of provided by SearchStax default fields plus my template field and some custom fields I have added. Full item path and path content. I can select anything over here. There is some result configuration as well. So how this helps, what I'm going to display on my result screen. So I want to display the name. So that is underscore name or full item path. That is my full path. And path content is my description. If I need to add anything, there are a few out of the box available. Say I can say I want to display date as well. So this would be date, and maybe I can find created date underscore created would be there. Created by, or maybe any date. I need to find. Maybe I don't have any date.
Path created by.
I don't see created date. Maybe published.
It starts with P. Path created date.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, it was created by a.
No, there isn't date. What kind of database I choose? I don't have a date. Sorry guys. If nothing goes wrong, okay, I will choose updated. So save, publish. This is my publish. Now what I can do is I can go to search preview. So I can still play around within this and I can see what information I have. So these are some out of the box features, like what result I have. Something similar to what we see on Solar's query window. This is something similar to what we see over here. And if you want to check, I will move to, so this is my site. I have, I'm searching for, this is my site where I have configured the search. I'm searching for lorem. It shows me this one. Let me, so it's, you can see it's speed. I just lorem ipsum data. I don't have any regular data as of now. I just set up it very recently. And maybe, so just a click and it shows the result. It's very fast. I really love the speed of the result displayed. I haven't set up the facets much. There are some contents, and this one is their default configuration, default page, what comes with SearchStax module. It does not have any header footer. I wanted my header footer, so what I did, I made some changes into the rendering and make it working. Just need to add some style sheets to display it properly, but now it is displayed within my website. I'm not showing a blank, just a base screen, and I'm not showing much details. There is a search feedback and everything is there, but it is much more faster. Jumping back to this one, there is another so you can specify the facets as well. There is a sorting also available, and just make some changes. Sometimes I'm just lost something. No. Just set up a configuration tool. Enable faceting. Sorry. Synonyms. Spell check. No. So they also provide some themes as well. I haven't selected any themes. Just went by default themes. I'm a little surprised what happened. Where did my setting go? I just made a setting that was something. Oh yeah. Sorry, it was on my result model rules. So I have made a rule that if I'm searching for home, just replace it with value. So it should not display me any result if I'm searching from home. If I disable this rule, publish, now the same thing will display me the result. So steps wise, this is much more faster. It provides the information, no need to index in between. Everything is available out over there. So this is much more faster to implement. I did this 2 times, and first time I was reading the documentation. Documentation wise also, if you go to the SearchStudio, on top of right hand side, you will see this support, and on that you will see documentation. So here is the documentation. One is for Manage Solar and this one is for SearchStudio. Getting started. Very nice documentation. They have provided almost all the things. Some things are missing, but that's very known to everyone. Like how to do customization. I want to add computed field or a new field, schema, anything like that. And developer documentation wise, it has all the integration. You will see Sitecore module and the same screen what I was showing earlier. It has all the information. And they have provided some nice ideas how to do that as well. So documentation wise, I'm seeing that this is really a very good amount of documentation they provided. So I'll just say that again. It's very simple, few steps. Register, create the index, install SearchStax module in Sitecore, configure the SearchStax in Sitecore, populate schema in Sitecore and SearchStax, index in Sitecore, create the result model in SearchStax. Yeah, we have to jump from Sitecore to SearchStax a few times. But by this time, I think if you know, you would be able to completely do the setup. It does not take more than 25 to 30 minutes. This is for the developer machine. There may be some different scenario if you are doing the same thing on production or some non-production environments, not on a developer machine. So that's one small disclaimer. Let's jump to customization. But before that, is there any question on this setup or anything?
Yeah, I have a question, Maulik. So you actually showed that the schema should be created in Sitecore. and also like, the schema should be created in SearchStax. Is it possible to like, create the schema in Sitecore and push it to the SearchStax?
So it's not exactly a creating the schema, we are just populating the schema. So you can see this is my Sitecore environment, and you can see this one, populate solar manage schema. When we
Okay.
open this one, it has all the information. I just need to do populate one. So once this is done, so this is populating all my schema on my local. So this is done. Jump to this one. On this one, settings, search summary, reload schema. So it's exactly not a populate, it's more of a reload schema. Configuration is reloaded. And then we can go to indexing manager and build that. So
Okay.
thankfully, we don't need to create the schema. It's the same feature what we are doing with our simple solar. It just grabs the schema and updates on SearchStudio.
Okay. Okay. So so when I look at your slide, it seems like we are creating schemas on both places, but it's really like, loading the schema from the Sitecore, which I thought
Yeah,
that is actually make more sense. Right?
yeah. So it was more of a like I thought that create schema should I, but it's that's why I specified mention populate the schema. Because even I was thinking that do I have to create the schema where I can create the schema for SearchStax? Because for sometimes if you have worked on solar, you have to manually create the schema sometimes, but SearchStax helps out. You can just pull that from Sitecore.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Any other question?
Hi, Maulik. I have seen that we have not selected the database name while creating the schema. So by default, it will be taking the web database.
Yeah. By default, it will take web database.
Okay. So
And maybe we can check that over here. So when you install SearchStax, you will see this one section on your control panel. So this is an additional, and otherwise you can see this one on your launchpad as well. And if I go to this one, this is the configuration. And here we don't specify the database name. So by default, it definitely takes the web database.
okay. So whenever a publishing happens, Sitecore will push it to the SearchStax, or SearchStax would be observing Sitecore for the changes.
They have configuration, so very similar how Solar gets updated, SearchStax also gets updated with your publish, and the pipeline is already there.
Okay. Okay.
We can I can show you some customization as well what I've done, and what customization I can do. I can create some separate indexes for my section. Say I just want product or some different sections, separate index. Sometimes I need that to make it search super fast. I don't want to go to the whole web index and grab only the locations or only the products. I'll create a separate index that will be much more small index to work upon, and it will be much more faster. I can update the schema and I can update the computed indexes Mostly whoever has worked with search, they must be familiar with this computed indexes, calculated indexes, sometimes people say. That's one of the most common things people add. I want to add, say, for example, my author. So my author is located in some particular location. So we generally have the fields, multi-list field, where we select, okay, this particular person is in writing in France, French language, let's say language. So French and English. So that will be just ID in Sitecore, but when I want to search, I want the name as well of the language. So I will create a computed index that will read that particular ID, find what is the name of that language, and put it as a languages. So in my index, it will show French, comma, English. So that is my computed index. I can create computed index for many things. So this one is basically for separate indexes. I want index separated for product, people, location, news, blogs. I want to make everything faster. So I will separate out all the indexes. I can do that. It's a very simple process. I can just click plus and then add one more root node in the search text. It will index that as it will be in the same index, or maybe I can create just another index as well. SearchStudio, as of now, I haven't seen that they will say that, no, you can't create multiple indexes. I can create the index over there as well. Schema and computed indexes. So people, maybe I want location and department, for news category and locations, for product category, details, for simple pages, I want display name and shared content. Anything I can put it in a computed index. And if I just tell you that there isn't a very SearchStax specific code. Whatever we are writing for Solar or any other computed indexes, it's the same. Configuration, you have the same configuration file, which is similar to, you can just add this one. Full item path and path content, these two are my fields. So it's mapped, and this is my add computed index, full item path, and this is my assembly path. And this is for path content. I have the assembly path for path content. So it's a very simple. This is exactly same how we do it in Solar, but I was still thinking that what I should do, I should update some values. Say I want to add some more schemas. So as a standard process, do not change anything which is provided out of the box. We must be making a patch file because I learned something a little hard way, because I was working on a SearchStax and I just realized, okay, how about let me modify this particular file where they have provided computed field for result URL, render content, and title. So they provided 3 from their code. I made the change, but it was overwritten and my changes were lost. So better to make changes in our own file. That's what we have been following since many years for all the Sitecore implementation. Any customization must go into their own patch files. It should never be modified into original files. And just important to update, you can see this index configuration, default Solar index configuration. So this will be available to all my indexes, not just SearchStax indexes. It is available to my Solar and SearchStax both locations. And code wise, we are not calling any SearchStax specific assemblies. Standard Sitecore content search computed field, and data.items for getting the items. And this is standard. If you have created a computed field, you don't need to create anything else. or you need to do anything additional to add that field into SearchStax, it will automatically, when you index, it will automatically be added. And there are some, so this is the customization, and customization wise, I really felt earlier that there would be some different or difficult situation, but with similar functionality, it's much more easier, much more faster to do any customization. I can add my own custom fields. I can show you that on the page. I'll go back to this one. So you can see this. This is my custom field, computed field called full path content. So this is my full path, starting from this basic company to home. And starting from this home, I haven't added a space, but this is my content of the home page. So everything in a single item, and that is my full item content computed index, which is displayed inside this. And there is a search, a solar search as well. Yep. So you can see this one, full path content and full item path. This is running on the whole web index database. So you will see that lots of differences. Full item path and path content. You can see this. This is my content data, and this is my full path in the same field. It's much more same thing. What goes in the solar index, that goes into SearchStax. No difference. And I love this page. So even with this computed indexes, I will still write a blog about that, because I try to search SearchStax, computed index. They don't have documentation for that, and no one has any information. So I was not very clear what I should be doing. But I reached out to SearchStax. They have really very good support, and they really help out. And if there is any feedback, they also implement the feedback as well. I had one feedback because when I was working on that, it was little irritating for me to keep switching from one section to another. So when you see this one, this is a simple button, but it's always like that. You click on that, it's hidden. Click on that, it's hidden. It's really very irritating when you are completely working on the environment. So I requested that, is there any way I can keep this open? Within 10 days time, they implemented and released. So I was really very happy with the implementations as well. And I used a good amount of documentations from that side. These are some documentation link. Documentation, then docs, SearchStudio, creating a SearchStudio app, Sitecore module, and SearchStudio search field tab. Simple and quick. That's it from my side. Any more questions, anyone?
Hey, Maulik. Again. So I'm trying to understand. Here I have not actually used SearchStax yet. So I guess the idea is like, you have, if you do not use SearchStax, you have Solar, and you just index everything in this Solar, and that's why, like, all this customization and things that you can do. If you use SearchStax, you install that module. Now it is kind of taking over Solar, like, you know, they have hosted solar, right? So the index will go to SearchStax, not in your solar instance. So that solar instance is not going to be used anymore, right?
That depends on your configuration. Right now, I haven't removed my local solar configuration. So all my indexes are going towards both the locations. It goes into my
Oh,
solar as well, also SearchStax as well. What I can do is I can disable my solar and then it will only go to SearchStax. Now, one of the reason why people are like similar to, instead of using solar, we are using Covio. So
mhm.
instead of using solar or Covio, we are using SearchStax. So that is something which has been there, uh, like people are moving towards.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So they are not like, you know, opinionated, like, you know, you can only use search tags, you can use
Mm.
both. It's up to you to actually, yeah. So the other question is that, is it only a hosted service or it is beyond that? Do they have like, you know, AI kind of search in their search studio, or is just search hosting?
So they have two products available right now. There is one called Managed Solar. So that's something what we have. Instead of using our local solar, we can use the Managed Solar, and that is something solar on cloud. And second product is Search Studio. Search Studio, I really like the way it works. It is very easy to configure, and that is more like a very much marketer friendly as well. And I was just trying to show something to client, and they were also like, yeah, it's easy, I can just click. It's very easy to navigate, I don't need to know any technical knowledge about this. And they were able to set up. So Search Studio is also another product. So they
Mm,
have two products right now.
okay, so it's also a managed solar product, but it's more user friendly, but they do not provide anything like Covio or reflection, like, which are more focused on the like, you know, search, like, you know, more focus on the search result, like, you know, what it is going to return based on the users, like, you know, browsing behavior or something. So that's not the case here.
They do have personalization, but they have like when I was talking with them, Search Studio like Search Text team mentioned that they have personalization based search as well available. I haven't explored that yet. That would be something which I am planning to do in future. And
Okay.
I believe they have a session today somewhere in, I think, Baltic, SUG Baltic, or somewhere where Hugo Santos from Konabos, he is also MVP, and Tyler Huff from SearchStax team. They are going to showcase the personalization as well.
Okay. All right. That was my
Yeah,
question.
they have some good feature. Personalization is also there. I might not get time to explore that one. I just 4 days left with my trial as of now. So I might not get, but maybe in
Yeah.
future I definitely I will try. And
Yeah. No.
one
No.
thing, yep.
Go ahead. Someone has question, comment.
Uh,
No, it's just me. I just found some documentation on the personalized search, so I thought I'll paste it across. Mandri.
Okay. Okay.
yep.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Definitely something I thought that will be interesting to see.
Yeah.
So like, you know, maybe this is something that we can do in later some session that will be like, interesting topic to see.
So Maulik, I just had a question. So when I see this managed solar, right? So what it means to me is basically a solar infrastructure on the cloud, but managed by SearchStax with
Correct.
with an intuitive UI to basically add your synonyms and all of those things. So from a production standpoint, we have this traditional concepts, right? Master slave or zookeeper or whatever it is. So how does that work in this context? So you said that it predominantly kind of adds the web database as default. So but essentially it depends on the strategy that we are defining in our Sitecore solution, isn't it?
Correct.
So if you are uh, most of our applications are when you save on content on the master database, it basically goes to your master text, and then when you publish, basically goes to the web. So and in a master slave scenario, you have master and then you have multiple slaves that are pointing to the CD. How are those kind of handled in SearchStax?
Two things. One, SearchStudio is a little different than what we have on Managed Solar. Managed Solar is your all solar indexes on the cloud. One thing, personally, I'm also working on one of the solar on-premise infrastructure where we have a master slave configuration, but that is something when I reached out to Sitecore for some issue, they said that master and slave configuration is no longer supported by Sitecore. So they suggested to go on a solar cloud. Now, solar cloud is something similar to switch on rebuild, where your index is built in a one index, and when it is completed, it is switched to, like, the new index is switched with old index.
Yeah.
And so that is something very similar happening on the solar cloud as well. So you really don't need a master slave configuration. Secondly, when there is a solar solar infrastructure, managed solar infrastructure, you have your core, master, and web, everything onto cloud. So that would be similar how your solar works on premise, that works on the cloud. There won't be much challenge. Some configuration related changes only, but apart from that, I don't think any major changes are there.
Okay, so it's similar to switch on rebuild that we have on solar
Yes.
cloud. Okay.
And configuration wise, let me try to find something. What is the default database it is expecting? I'm just trying to find something on the configuration.
So it seems that in the in Sitecore Managed Cloud, they actually in Sitecore Managed Cloud, they do not support, like, solar container. They actually use SearchStax to for search completely. I think it's kind of easy to offload the search part to outside hosting instead of, like, managing container and everything in the Kubernetes and stuff. So that's something I found recently.
True. And this is something which I'm sharing on my screen. So by default, this is a file which is automatically generated whenever we are making changes to the SearchStax configuration screen inside the Sitecore. Any changes we make, it is written inside this particular config file, and that's why Sitecore restarts. So that's one thing which I have provided them as a feedback, that your SearchStax changes, like if I make any configuration changes, my Sitecore restart, at least mention that making changes on this page will restart your Sitecore. So someone by mistake does not change it on the production server. Otherwise, everyone would be shouting. And here by default, they have mentioned the database name is web, and this is my root. And So that's the way you can identify this is SearchStudio directly runs on the web database only.
Okay.
And
Thanks,
you
Maulik.
can see the strategy as well on publish and async because it is going on a cloud must be asynchronous, and it also has a default Solr configuration. So document wise, default Solr configuration is the one, and that's what we are also using for our computed indexes. So computed indexes goes on both the sections. It will go on a default Solr instance as well as SearchStudio as well.
All right. Are there any other questions?
Hi, Maulik. I have a question. If we have multiple, we have multiple websites, so what should be our approach? Should we go through that option you showed us, like there is plus sign and we can configure for the multiple sites, or should we create like multiple apps?
If those websites are not related, it would be better to create multiple apps,
Okay.
not with the same index. You should not have the same index.
Okay. If that
Going
is
with the
related to like single project only and like to a single client, then also.
See, for the single clients also, like for example, there is a primary website, and then there is a portal, and then there is a, let's say, career website,
Yeah,
or
right.
some mini sites they are launching. So if each and every website has its own search logic, if you are keeping everything in a single index, you have to write some custom code to identify what is the search which comes into this particular website.
Okay.
Maybe you have to add some custom logics like computed index, which identifies which is the website. To avoid that customization, create multiple apps.
Okay. Okay.
Configuration wise also, it's not a big challenge, because if you have seen the configuration page, I can list down multiple apps over there.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. If you can see this one,
Yeah.
I have one for this one. Second, I can create an index, so I can create multiple indexes over here.
Okay. Okay, I got it. Thank you so much, Maulik.
Welcome.
All right, good questions. Any other question?
Yeah, hi Maulik. What is the licensing model? Is it subscription based or based on the number of fields and the index size? Or
I'm sorry, I forgot to confirm that one. Like I was aware, but I don't have that on top of my head, and even I forgot to add that in this section. Maybe I can do one thing. I can check out with them, and or you can even find it on the website as well. So you can go to
maybe
SearchStax.
something like, we can, pricing, right?
So here they have $4.99 a month. Managed Solr has a different scenario. This one also, SearchStudio has a little different scenario where you have single site, multi-site, and then there is a volume based as well.
Good. Yeah.
Because I remember this one. I remember this one because this is something what I started with a discussion, because we went to Covio for one of the project, and the estimation like cost every month what they provided. This one is $6.99 a month, is much more less than what Covio like quoted us.
Yeah, there are some numbers also here that, like, how many items you can index and how many search requests. Right. So it based on usage also.
Yeah, it's a normal website. This one is good enough. Otherwise, if it is a huge website, it would be, they prefer to go volume based to provide more support.
Yep, good question. Any other question?
Hey, this is Venu Stipali. Hey, last
Venu.
question. Yeah, good presentation. Thanks for sharing all that connection. The question I have is, do we have the same type of implementation for commerce sites too, right? Because our commerce products, it has its own payment databases and products, right? So if we have to implement our search for commerce sites, is it easy enough to configure it? Because the last time I heard, they said, obviously, we have to do some custom, implementation to index the products and all that stuff.
I also will say the same, that it is definitely possible to index commerce, but you may have to add something. You can see this one, product category and details. So quite a long time back, I worked on Sitecore Commerce Server project. And at that time, we had just option of Lucene and Solar. So we had to add some custom code. We had to add product category details, some of the fields. Some references are there, like my category goes into something else. So we have to add some customization. We have to add computed indexes to make it work. What I have heard, I think, Himadi, reflection, right? That is commerce-based search.
Yeah, reflection is more towards like, commerce based and like, product recommendation and stuff. I think Venu is coming from like, especially from the XC. So I guess like, as long as your data is in Sitecore, then like, that will be indexed, but there could be something more than just like, Sitecore search, probably
Yeah.
some customization is needed.
And then
Yeah.
Sometimes
By the way,
instead-
like, Order Cloud, if you think about commerce, Order Cloud has its own search, which is Elasticsearch based. So that's different. All right.
cool. Yeah. Thank you.
Question. Any other question?
Hey, Maulik, I have a quick question. Just curious whether SearchStack also support geoqueries?
GeoQueries means
Geolocation.
location based.
Yeah, location based.
But how location based you want?
Any location basis. So Solar provides, we can say, or Solar behind SearchStax provides it. I'm just curious whether if you want to. So there is a geolocation service from Sitecore out of the box, right? So
Yeah.
say I don't want to use it and I want to use it from SearchStax. Is it better, or whether it's possible? But that's what I was asking.
I need to check because I haven't heard. Like Sitecore geolocation service provides, you provide the IP address, it gives us what is the location of that particular person, where you are located. I am not very well aware that Solar provides that information, but yeah, if it is like personalization based on location, yeah, that would be available, but not with like I'm providing IP address. So give me, like, it will return me what is the location and everything. If that particular scenario is somewhere in your database, say for example, sometimes people use locations and location wise, so US has all the 50 states plus every state's cities, zip codes. So whole database, some banks retain those database into their system. If that is the situation, let's say I put it in bucket,
Yeah,
and available in my
right.
Sitecore, I can index, but not with the what Sitecore provides out of the box geolocation service.
Got it. Yeah, thanks.
All right, we are top of the hour. Just one more chance if anyone has question. Awesome. Great. Great presentation. Thanks, Maulik, for doing
Welcome.
this. And thanks to everyone for joining this session. It's really nice interaction. So thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thanks, Maulik. Bye-bye.
All good, man.
Okay.